this concerto that we're playing is certainly from the most fertile and most mature part of Dvořák's career. It was written, of all places, in New York City during a period of time when Dvořák was here as the head of something called the National Conservatory of Music in New York. And he made a pilgrimage to the United States to head up this conservatory for a few years. But then eventually homesickness got to him and he went back home. But while he was here, he wrote the New World Symphony, the so-called American String Quartet, and this cello concerto. Beyond Sang teaches here at the University of Texas and is a prize-winning cellist. He hails from Lansing, Michigan, but his parents were both born in China. And Beyond is one of the few cellist medal winners in the Tchaikovsky competition. And we're so delighted that he's here in town playing and that he found the time to play this glorious concerto. And in a way, it's sort of part of our 100th anniversary being the Austin Symphony and glorifying not only our own orchestra, but the many incredible soloists that are living right here in Austin. Arvo Pärt is from Estonia, and perhaps because he's from Estonia, we don't hear much about him. But I would say as of the last 20 to 25 years, his name has become more and more prominent on the classical music scene. He writes in a style one would call either reflective or meditative. And the work that we're playing, which is called Summa, is definitely very meditative in nature. It was written in 1977 to be a choral work with a liturgical text, but there was something about the music and the quality of the music that he felt could be played very well by stringed instruments without any text whatsoever. And so in 1991, he arranged it for strings, and that's the version we are playing. One of the most famous of all pieces of classical music, the last symphony Mozart wrote, the 41st Symphony, which was called the Jupiter. And I guess in a way that would link it with Holst's The Planets, which we played much earlier. But Mozart had nothing to do with the nickname Jupiter. It was placed on there by a publisher, I believe, long after Mozart was dead, and has nothing to do with the music. And there's nothing interplanetary about it. The city of Austin programmed this piece, not the government, but you all did. We had an online contest a year ago called Clash of the Classical Titans, and it was modeled very specifically like the NCAA basketball brackets of '64. So we put 64 classical pieces of music online, and they battled out one another until it came down to Bolero and the Mozart Jupiter Symphony, and the Mozart won, and it's on the program. We promised we would program it, and here it is.